NFL Brent Sobelskinsful analyst September 6, 2017 Brad Pennerusa Today Sports The NFL landscape changed prior to Saturday's deadline to reduce rosters from 90 to 53 players. Not only did teams release hundreds of players, including a handful of well-known veterans, but they made numerous trades as well. The league entered new territory with its decision to only have one roster cut down after the fourth preseason contest rather than two throughout the preseason. This new approach prompted unprecedented movement between teams and created a default trade deadline. Meanwhile, other franchises sat back and snatched up the best available free agents. Old faces will appear in new places, and the change could be beneficial for all parties. A player's situation is rarely discussed when it comes to how he performs on the field. It isn't just about his position within a team. Where a person resides, his comfort level within the organization and outside influences matter. Brock Osweiler knows this all too well. Osweiler is now the poster boy for free agency gone wrong. The Houston Texans signed the young quarterback to a 4-year, $72 million contract last year despite his limited sample size as a starter. Team owner Bob McNair didn't even meet with Osweiler prior to signing him. According to Peter King of the MMQB, things didn't work out for either party, and the Texans traded Osweiler and his massive contract to the Cleveland Browns in March. The Browns, who were flush with cap space, took on the quarterback's $16 million guaranteed salary just to add a second-round pick in the 2018 NFL Draft. Cleveland had no issues with releasing Osweiler on cutdown day, and he returned to Denver on a one-year, veteran minimum deal. Needless to say, I'm very thankful to be back here, Osweiler said of Denver, per Arnie Stapleton of the Associated Press. My wife and I, we miss Colorado every single day. This is a special place, special organization and a special city. The 26-year-old quarterback now has a chance to rekindle the magic he once experienced during the Broncos' last Super Bowl run. For now, he'll be Trevor Siemian's backup. Being in the right place at the right time is crucial to an individual's success. The following 5 teams acquired players that perfectly fit their needs after this weekend's flurry of moves. Sheldon Richardson brings more bite to Seahawks defense. Former first-round pick Sheldon Richardson as a member of the New York Jets. Noah K. Murriusa Today Sports Dog owners with ferocious pets often post a sign in their yard that reads, "Beware of dog." After acquiring Sheldon Richardson in a trade with the New York Jets, the Seattle Seahawks need to post a sign for their defense, "Beware of pass rushes. These guys are crazy," Richardson said, for the Seattle Times Bob Condotta. In a good way. Everybody is laid back. Everybody is family. They're real big on that. The group may be laid back during the week, but Seattle's defensive linemen know how to terrorize opposing quarterbacks. Cliff Avril and Frank Clark combined for 21.5 sacks last season, and neither is the defense's best pass rusher. Michael Bennett is. Bennett, Clark, Avril and Richardson can all line up at different spots and still create pressure. For example, Bennett is terrifying along the defensive interior. Richardson, meanwhile, is a 3 technique by trade, yet he adapted when the Jets coaching staff asked him to play 5 technique and even outside linebacker. Second-round pick Malik McDowell still has no timeline to return from an off-season ATV accident, according to Curtis Crabtree of Pro Football Talk, which left Seattle in need of a replacement. The organization thus sent a second-round pick and slot receiver Jermaine Kearse to the Jets in exchange for Richardson. The 2013 NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. The Jets had been shopping for Richardson for months, according to Ian Rapoport of NFL Network. His attitude became a problem, and his bark is sometimes worse than his bite. But the Seahawks knew what they were getting in the former Pro Bowl performer. We've done a lot of homework on him. I have a background with him in recruiting him, head coach Pete Carroll said, per Condotta. We had players who played on that team. We did all the research we needed to do. I know HES had some issues in the past, but HES withstood adversity and coming back and righting the ship and doing a really good job. Richardson is playing for his next big contract, and his skill set should allow him to thrive in Seattle's already dominant defense. TJ Ward completes Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. Tampa Bay Buccaneers safety TJ Ward is a member of the Denver Broncos. Reinhold Metallus Today Sports. Jameis Winston is a franchise quarterback in the making. Mike Evans is one of the league's best wide receivers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have plenty of talent across their offense. The defense is what could be the difference between another 97 campaign and a playoff appearance. Anytime a team hires a new coordinator, it takes time for players to feel comfortable within his scheme. The Buccaneers struggled during the early portion of the 2016 campaign under new defensive coordinator Mike Smith, but they came together during a 5-game winning streak from November 13 through December 11. During the stretch, Tampa Bay led the league in scoring defense, total takeaways, touchdowns allowed, opposing passer rating and turnover margin. Per the Tampa Bay Times' Greg Auman, the Bucs have the potential to field a top 10 defense. 5-time Pro Bowler Gerald McCoy is a disruptive force. Linebackers Lavonte David and Quan Alexander fly to the football. Brent Grimes and Vernon Hargreaves are a talented cornerback duo. However, the team lacked a strong presence at safety. Enter TJ Ward. The Broncos released the 3-time Pro Bowler to pave the way for second-year safety Justin Simmons. The Buccaneers jumped at the opportunity and signed Ward to a 1-year, $5 million contract. I feel like Tampa had the best locker room with the players they have. It seemed like they had a good mix of vets and young players and guys hungry to win, the 30-year-old defensive back said, per the Times' Rick Stroud. Of course, Jameis and his leadership and his ability on the field. Playing against him last year really impressed me. Ward provides a different kind of presence at strong safety compared to Chris Conte. The 7-year veteran might have lost a step or two in the past year, but he's an intimidating box safety who helps set a physical tone. He is also a reliable force player and option in pressure packages. Ward's ability to play in the box should help the Bucs improve upon their 22-and ranked run defense from last year. Joe Hayden helps overhaul Steelers' maligned secondary cornerback Joe Hayden covering current teammate Antonio Brown. George Gokovich. Getty Images. The nightmares don't go away. No, this has nothing to do with the remade it movie. It has everything to do with how Tom Brady sliced and diced his way through the Steelers' secondary during the AFC Championship game. Pittsburgh needed to do something drastic to improve its pass defense. However, the organization didn't make any significant moves during the draft to the start of free agency. Instead, the franchise patiently waited for its opportunity. When the Cleveland Browns released 2-time Pro Bowl cornerback Joe Hayden, the Steelers struck. Within hours of his release, the 28-year-old defensive back agreed to a 3-year, $27 million deal to join his former rival. With me, it was more the opportunity to be with an organization where I know the structure. I just felt like this would be the best fit, Hayden said, per Teresa Valli of the Steelers' official site. I played for Ray Horton. It's the same defense. A little bit of the terminology is different. It's going to be a quick learning experience. Hayden isn't the same player he once was, nor should anyone believe he's still a top-flight cover corner. He's struggled with injuries the last 2 seasons and appears to have lost a step. However, his presence in the Steelers lineup helps on 2 fronts. First, the 8th-year pro excels in man press where he can use his aggressiveness and length to his advantage. The Steelers are making a concerted effort to run more man coverage schemes after their zone calls failed against New England in the AFC title game. Second, the veteran corner takes pressure off second-year defender Artie Burns. Last year's first-round pick is highly competitive, but he's still developing and doesn't need to be forced into a situation where he's covering an offense's top receiver at all times. Hayden's presence also improves the secondary's depth. As long as expectations are tempered, Pittsburgh made the right move by bringing in Hayden. Wasn't the only time the Pittsburgh and Cleveland's paths intersected over the weekend. Sammy Coates' addition important to DeShone Kizer's maturation. Wide receiver Sammy Coates is a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Charles Leclerc. Today Sports. 2 days after the Browns released Hayden and the Steelers brought him in, the rivals consummated a deal to send wide receiver Sammy Coates and a 2019 7th-round draft pick to Cleveland for a 2018 6th-round selection, the same pick Pittsburgh originally sent to Cleveland for Justin Gilbert. For most teams, Coates wouldn't be a top passing game option due to the league-wide depth at wide receiver. In Cleveland, he can immediately assume the role of third receiver and provide an option out of the slot. Coates' speed should help him provide real value in the Browns' offense. He is a 6'1", 212-pound target with 4.43-second 40-yard dash speed. The Browns are building a specific type of offense around rookie quarterback DeShone Kizer, who has the size and arm strength head coach Hugh Jackson prefers at the position. The coach, who doubles as the offense's play caller, is aiming to build a run-first offense complemented by a vertical passing attack. "What am I getting? A guy that can run fast," Jackson said in reference to Coates, but the Orange and Brown reports Fred Greetham. "I think you guys know I like guys who can run and run fast and make plays down the field. He is a special teams player as well. He has some of that capability. Here is another big, fast guy that we get a chance to see if he can make the plays I think he can." The Browns needed speedy receivers to stretch opposing defenses. Kenny Britt is not that type of target. Last year's first-round pick, Corey Coleman, can be. Beyond that, the Browns had to find more players who fit the mold. Coates led the NFL in deep pass target percentage during the 2016 campaign, but Pro Football Focus drops are a concern, however, as Coates posted a 30.3% drop rate last season, per PFF's Nathan Yanka. But he did so while dealing with 2 broken fingers that required surgery after the season. Coates may never overcome his mental lapses, but the threat he provides on the outside should help exploit Kaiser's big arm or create the illusion the Browns can stretch the field. Making it appear as though a team is capable of doing something can occasionally be just as effective as actually doing so. Cassius Marsh's latest Patriots attempt to improve pass rush. Cassius Marsh, prior to being traded to the New England Patriots. Steve Dykes Getty Images. The Patriots aren't perfect. Every move doesn't work out in their favor. The organization appeared to have a fantastic offseason after capturing another Super Bowl victory in February. Yet the team's pass rush remained a lingering concern throughout training camp and the preseason. Jabal Sheard and Chris Long left in free agency. Rob Ninkovich abruptly retired. Third-round pick Derek Rivers suffered a torn ACL during practice. The coaching staff and front office didn't like what it saw of Coney Lee and released him after trading a second-round draft pick to the Carolina Panthers for a package including the defensive end 5 months earlier. On Saturday, New England acquired Cassius Marsh from the Seahawks for 2018 5th and 7th round picks in an attempt to bolster its edge presence. Marsh managed only 3 sacks last season and didn't get to the quarterback at all during his first 2 years in the NFL. Ultimately, the fourth-year defensive end became the odd man out among the loaded defensive front. With more opportunities to rush the passer in New England, he could be primed for a breakthrough campaign in 2017. "This is a guy who has worked with me all this summer, and to see his progression as a player, his conditioning, his work ethic and his mindset for the game this year, I think Cassius is going to be a guy who is very exciting and it is going to be a really great year," Bennett said in August, per ESPN.com's Mike Reese. The Patriots continue to reinforce a Super Bowl winning roster. Trey Flowers needed a running mate, and New England found one in Marsh. Brent Sobleski covers the NFL for Bleacher Report. Follow him on Twitter at Brent Sobleski.